Breaking news, a recap. Tonight,
YouTube helps deliver a baby.
the pros and cons of slavery.
Tax-free tampons.
A surprising dessert.
And we're trying out another weatherman.
In 1956, two dogged reporters were on assignment in the Bermuda Triangle when the most stereotypical thing that could happen did. Lost in time, forgotten by the world, Wesley Newfarmer and Jessica Pratt emerged in 2012 to a new era where the news is more fast-paced and people less credible. Today, they continue their mission as intrepid journalists, always on the search to find the most important news and deliver it to you a few days after it actually happens. From one side of the world and another, this is Breaking News, a recap.
Hello and welcome to Breaking News, a recap. From New York City, I'm your host, Wesley Newfarmer, and joining me from somewhere else is Jessica Pratt.
Don't you want to know where I'm located?
Is it New York?
No, it's...
Then I don't care. On with the news. We start tonight with Tina Freeman, a Nashville woman who delivered her own baby in a hotel room. The 22-year-old said she just did what any young millennial would do in her place. She YouTubed instructions on how to do it. While the mother and baby are both doing fine, she has been criticized for not filming the birth and creating the first YouTube human unboxing video.
Parents at a Texas school have complained about a homework assignment asking students to list the positive aspects of slavery. The teacher responsible for the assignment has been placed on leave, while the textbook entitled Slavery, Terrorism and Holocausts, you can kind of see their point, has been taken off the curriculum.
Next on our broadcast, vegetables for dessert. This is what chefs are telling restaurant goers is the latest trend in the food world. While many foodies are willing to give a parsnip cake with butternut squash ice cream a go, parents aren't convinced that the phrase, "Jason, if you don't eat all of your broccoli, you can't have a scoop of carrot sorbet," is really going to catch on.
The Australian Labor Party has said it will abolish the 10% goods and services tax on tampons if they win the next election. Women in Australia spend $300 million a year on sanitary items, earning the federal government $30 million in tax. Experts say it'll be hard to find a way to make up the tax loss, but not quite as hard as it is to find the last remaining tampon you could afford before payday from the bottom of your handbag.
A new study from the UK has found that drinking gin and tonics could help ease the pain of hay fever. Apparently, clear spirits will not aggravate symptoms like beer and wine can, and are therefore a better option for sufferers. While the study insists that gin and tonic is not a cure for hay fever, it does prove the point that the British will come up with absolutely any excuse to drink alcohol.
As will you, it seems.
Only on days ending in Y.
We now turn to education, where lawmakers in Colorado have proposed jail sentences for any teachers who go on strike for more pay and better working conditions. When teachers heard that there might be a chance of spending a prolonged period of time alone in a quiet place without the possibility of being shot, their response was universally the same. When and where do I sign up? This week, as part of our ongoing search for a new weather presenter, we welcome to the team Rob Mahorn. Rob's previous place of employment was a Blockbuster Video, where he watched Twister starring Helen Hunt and Bill Paxton over 23 times. Rob?
Thanks, Jess. You want to know more about the weather? You really want to know more about the weather? I'll tell you all the weather you need to know. In Dubai, it's going to be 37 degrees Celsius, which means you probably shouldn't have worn a sweater, Rob. And in France, it's going to be 15 degrees Celsius, so you might want to bundle up with your amour. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? All right, over to the good folks in Seattle, you're going to want to get yourself a cup of Joe. Not Joe in a cup, but a cup of Joe, because it's going to be 3 degrees Celsius. I don't know what that is in Fahrenheit, but I'm pretty sure if I get the job, I'll learn it. All right? Okay, so I'm going to give it back to a really great host who's been doing a good job teaching me. Over to you, Jess.
Teaching him?
It was literally a 2-minute conversation when he didn't find me for not rewinding Billy Madison. That Adam Sandler gets me every time.
And finally tonight, wait a second, you still use Blockbuster? And finally tonight, Oklahoma has passed a bill allowing adoption and foster care agencies the right to discriminate against gay couples on the grounds of religious beliefs. The bill will be signed by Republican Governor Mary Fallin this month and will include a footnote detailing the advantages of kids living under a bridge versus living with two mommies. Well, that's all the time we have and all the news there is. If you liked our show, please share amongst your friends. If you didn't, maybe this will help.
There's also, of course, Ivanka. She was supposed to be an advocate for women, but it turns out she's about as helpful to women as an empty box of tampons.
Tune in next time for more breaking news a few days after it actually happens.
Jess, that was great. Jess, can you hear me? Jess?
Yeah, I can
Hello?
hear you, but I'm choosing to ignore you. It's a little bit like a toddler. If you don't acknowledge their poor behaviour, maybe they'll stop it.